My clapback would be, it's beautiful to be black, and don't be ashamed of your blackness. And it doesn't matter what part of the world you come from Panama, from Ecuador, from Mexico. Like there's Afro-Latinos in all of these places, and it's not just, you know, honed down to one specific thing. And I think it's important to just acknowledge that and also just be happy. Like black culture is beautiful. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, both. Have you ever been told you have pelo malo?
Yes. Yeah, I have. Specifically, I always remember like family members saying stuff
of
like
course.
that. Like growing up, that's not something you just tell just anybody.
No, right.
It's something that you'll like hear from like an aunt,
right,
an uncle, but absolutely. Yeah.
No, I agree. I feel like I've definitely experienced like el pelo malo phrasing, and then that's why they want you to get a deslizado, and they want you to like, you know, like my mom always was very much like, keep your afro. And then I was like, no, I want to straighten my hair because it was like the pelo malo comments.
Was that like peer pressure?
It was like peer pressure because all my cousins were like, you know, the straight hair. I was like, hey, espérate, I wanna join.
Right.
But yeah, like definitely I've experienced that 1000%. So my clapback would be, if anyone would to ask me that today, I would literally say that there's no such thing as pelo malo. Like, pelo is pelo, and it doesn't matter what texture, it doesn't matter if it's curly, it doesn't matter if it's straight, it doesn't matter if it's kinky, it's hair, period.
My clapback would be, shut the hell up. You know better than that. Stop saying that.
I know.
We need to get rid of that.
I know you're being nicer than me. I would be so scared.
So for both, have you ever been told you're really pretty to be dark?
Ooh. In my house, the darker the better, honey.
Right.
You know?
Right. So obviously I feel like I kind of lie like in the middle in terms of like color, but I do remember specifically, it actually happened here in LA.
No way.
Yes, it happened here in LA. There was this influencer and she had moved here recently from a Latin American country. And she was like, like she looked at me, she was like, what are you? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, no, like, what are you? Like, you're black, but like, you look something different about you. And I'm like, oh, I'm Puerto Rican. And she said, oh, that's why you're good looking.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? Like, that's not a compliment.
No,
like, you know what I mean?
Is that supposed
like,
to make me feel better?
It was very backhanded, and I always remember thinking like, I don't know about you.
No.
Like, I had to distance myself because I just feel like we've gotten to the point where we should just know better.
I feel like even here in the States, like, there's a lack of education for what an Afro-Latino is. And so when they see us, they're like, ooh, there's a little sauce in it. Maybe it's a little bit better. But it's like, it shouldn't matter that I'm also Latina or Latino, you know what I mean? To like, kind of like smooth my blackness or like, you know, kind of like make me fit in, you know?
Exactly. If I were to be in that situation again, my clapback would be, you know better. Please stop with these narratives. Stop trying. Like, that's so backhanded. It's not a compliment to me. Do better.
And I think, honestly, that would be my clapback too. I'd be like, just shut the up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, what are you talking about? Like, you know better. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Have you ever been pressured to portray a stereotype or a monoculture in the beauty world?
I guess this is not really answering the question specifically. What I would notice though is if I held a boundary, it was almost like I could say something like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, and it would turn into like this drama, like difficult to work with or this or that. And I would just see this underlying narrative of like, I just spoke on something that was made me uncomfortable or like, you know, and I wouldn't say it in a way that was like too abrasive, but I would have just noticed that. So I don't think that anyone ever pressured me to
like be
play up a character or be
yeah.
like a caricature of, you know, what people perceive as blackness, but I would see that aspect of it.
I kind of agree with you. I feel like I've experienced that, especially as an artist, that whenever I kind of set a boundary on certain things that I want or certain things that I want to see, it's kind of like you're a diva, or you're acting like a diva, or you're doing too much, or you're asking for too much, when it's like there's other people who are also in the same space that don't look like me and ask the same questions and don't, you know, don't get questioned or don't get a pushback.
My clapback would be just boundary, like we're not even discussing further. I'm not gonna dignify this with anything.
Yeah, no. And I feel like my clapback maybe would be like, I mean, I kind of like the way that I've dealt with situations like this is just I just go ahead and ask the question again. If you tell me now, I'm like why are we going back and forth? Again, make sure that's ordered, or make sure that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I'm not going back and forth.
And
like,
no is a full sentence.
No, period.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, have you ever been told you are taking too much space as an Afro-Latina?
I think because there's a lot of people who don't know what being an Afro-Latina is, I think people can sometimes think that we're being extra or we're trying to over-exaggerate our being Latin. You know what I'm saying? Like, or it's like, why do you have an accent, or why are you talking with an accent? Like, obviously you're black. Like, why are you talking with that? I'm like, literally, I wasn't even born here, bro. Like, this accent is not going anywhere. You know? You think it's coming from us in a way that's us trying to be overly dramatic or overly loud or over, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you're used to seeing it in the light-skinned way and like, oh, that's what she's a Latina. You know what I'm saying? Right. But when they see it from us, it's like, why are you doing too much, or why are you being extra? When it's not when it's necessarily like not the case. It's just also we're the same culture. It's the same way. We function in the same way. We just have a different skin tone, and that's okay. You know.
Right.
So yeah, but I have been told that I've been a little too much, but I also think I'm just too much, and that's okay. Like,
is that the clapback?
And that's a clapback. I am a lot. Like, and if you can't handle it, baby, don't sip it. You know.
Right. You know, this question, I feel like we could really dive into something that I think a lot of people don't speak about, and it's like, you know, with being black, but then being Afro-Latino, and then you start to realize like the diaspora. So I feel like this conversation almost goes into that, of like where we fit within blackness, especially in this country.
Absolutely.
So sometimes I do feel like, how much should I show up? And when is it my time to pull back and give, you know, because our visibility is so limited regardless.
But you know what's crazy? It's like the fact that we even have to think in that way, and think in a sense of like, wait, should I tame it down a little bit? Like, are they gonna be able to handle it? I think it's something that we need to change, because it shouldn't be that. You know, we should be able to show up in every single space like we are. Unapologetically us, you know? It is what it is, you know? And it sucks that in certain environments we have to have that pre-notion, or like think before, be like, okay, I gotta make sure this is who I am today, you know? When it's like, you don't need to tame it down for anyone.
I feel like my clapback to that would be, it's a new day. You know, I'm not gonna make myself smaller for anyone at this point. I think there's space for everybody to shine and to be seen. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, no, this is gonna be a good one. Have you been told you aren't Latino or Afro-Latino enough?
Oh, my whole entire life. I literally am from the Bronx. Growing up, you know, I mean, I was born in Dominican Republic and I came here when I was younger, but even being in New York City is like, Dominican Republic, the colorism is a huge thing, and I think the internalized colorism is huge, and I think there's like a blindness. Like, I literally will be in New York with someone that's literally darker than me, that's Dominican, and they'll be like, girl, I did not know you were Dominican. And I'm like, you literally are darker skin. Like, it's just like, it doesn't even make sense.
Like, what does that even mean?
What does that even mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this internalized, unaware, like colorism or whatever the case may be, that they don't even notice what they're doing. Or it's like, you know, it could be a lighter skinned Dominican and their mom is dark skinned, like super, super dark skinned, and their dad is like light skinned, but they'll still ask me and be like, oh, I didn't know you were Dominican. You don't even look Dominican. I think, you know, people like us, and is important, you know, to be faces in these environments, so people know that we exist and people know that it's like, it's okay to be black. I think that like, it's okay to be black. Like, Dios mío, like, it's like, se está mortificando for what? It's like, it's beautiful to be black, you know?
I can speak for myself, where I'm always in this position of like, you're either not black enough to some people, and then you're not Latino enough. And I feel like when I moved specifically to LA, I got the latter, because I feel like Latin culture here has such a brand and identity that's very specific. Where in New York, it was kind of like more of like that melting pot.
Like, people would understand, people would know.
Like, they'd be like, oh, like, they'd be like, oh, you're Puerto Rican? Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
While here in LA, it's like, oh.
But it's so weird, because I remember growing up in school and like not being black enough, or like not understanding the black culture, the African American culture all the way. So I wasn't fitting in with the black culture. But then the Latino kids, because I didn't look like them, I wasn't fitting in with the Latino kids. So it was like that weird medium of trying to figure out where I'm going. It's kind of like you're always floating, and you're always just trying to like prove to everyone, which kind of brings us back to the other question, is like, you're always trying to like gauge where you'll get accepted or where you'll fit in.
It's like you learn code switching.
Code switching is really serious. It's like you learn how to code switch because you're just trying to find your community the best way you can.
My clapback would be like, to be Afro-Latino, it's just, we're not a monolith, so there really is no defining factor, you know. We come in all different personality types, we all have different interests, and I think that that's what makes our community so beautiful. We have to embrace those differences and seeing the beauty in that.
My clapback would be, it's beautiful to be black, and don't be ashamed of your blackness, and it doesn't matter what part of the world you come from Panama, from Ecuador, from Mexico, like there's Afro-Latinos in all of these places, and it's not just, you know, honed down to one specific thing, and I think it's important to just acknowledge that and also just be happy. Like black culture is beautiful, and we have so much to give. Like literally we have so much to give. We're literally the foundation if you want to talk about it. but yeah, like that would be my clapback.
So my name is Victor. These were my experiences, but I want to see what your experiences were like, so make sure to comment down below.
And my name is Pamé, and these are our clapbacks.